A very good morning to all of you and warm greetings from India. By Sandhya, the meaning of my name is evening. I was born at the evening time, so it's Sandhya Khatsi. I am Dean at MGM Medical College, Nerul, Mumbai. I am here, first of all, to thank the organizers for giving me this particular wonderful opportunity to be with you all on this International Pediatric Neonatology Conference. I'm going to speak a few words on impact of involvement of NGO and strengthening the breastfeeding practices and milk donation in a resource-limited healthcare facility. All of us know Ma, at whose breast humanity is nourished and civilization is cultured. Every neonate is born with a hope and a message that God is not yet disappointed with man. Breast milk is a nutritive, emotional, and intellectual link between a mother and her baby. It's species specific, and it's impossible to bring about humanization of the animal milk, no matter whatever is the advancement of the technology. Even to the brain, breast milk cells do transfer to the organs of the offspring. Ensuring human milk for all babies in the hospital, it's a prime responsibility, and babies nursed by their own mothers have got very good growth and development potential. And the babies who could not be fed by their mothers can be fed. The second option is donor milk from the human milk bank. However, these measures are not enough to provide all babies the breast milk. If I go to the global state of newborn health, an estimated 2.3 million newborns die every year during the first 28 days of life, accounting for nearly half of all deaths in children under 5. The current scenario in India, the maternal mortality ratio is 97 per 1 lakh live births. Infant mortality rate, that is as per the SRS bulletin, it is 26.619. Urban, it is 23. Rural, it is 38. And the neonatal mortality rate is 24.5 per thousand live births. And the institutional deliveries remarkably have increased in India to 88.6%. If I go to my state statistics, that's Maharashtra, every 19.2 lakh babies are born almost every year. And per year, it is 19 lakh newborns. Per day, it is 5,200 births. And per hour, 215 births. Now, delivery occurs, and all types of deliveries are there in my country. For elite population, it's a corporate hospitals where the deliveries are conducted, like Bridge Candy, Leelavati, etc. For most of the population, it is the government hospitals, which has got its own drawbacks and its own advantages. Delivery occurs in India in bus, taxi, train, home, everywhere. Now, when we come or say that it is a resource-limited center, what are the key characteristics? There is shortage of skilled lactation staff who are there in all these centers, lack of basic equipment, high patient to nurse ratio. Because of that, nobody is there to properly advise and support the mother for breastfeeding. Then cultural barriers and misinformation, that is pertaining everywhere, and there is fragmented supply chains for formulas, leading to unsafe alternatives. Here comes the multifaceted role of NGOs. Non-governmental organizations, they play a critical role in strengthening maternal and child health care in India. They act as vital partners to the government, bridging gaps in the public health system by working at the grassroots level to reach the most vulnerable populations. Their interventions are comprehensive, ranging from training frontline health workers to empowering communities and leveraging technology. What's the concept of mother support? It has been there. World Alliance for Breastfeeding Action says that mother requires a lot of support during breastfeeding. Though it is physiological, it's very difficult. No mother has the responsibility to breastfeed a child unless she is completely, in every possible way, supported to make the decision and to succeed with her intentions to breastfeed. Hence, no woman can be expected to breastfeed unless she is enabled by culturally sensitive, unbiased information and complete social, economical, clinical support to decide to breastfeed, and is then given all social, clinical, political, economic support which she may need. Why there is a need for mother support? That is because we have overcrowded government hospitals, overburdened healthcare staff, lack of trained lactation consultants and counselors, delay in the early initiation of the breastfeeding. We have a policy of discharge within 48 hours. Imagine 215 deliveries per hour and then 40 deliveries in a day. If it is happening in any government hospital, we cannot keep the patients beyond 48 hours. Misconceptions prevalent among the general population. Our promotion and advertisement for breastfeeding is not perfect at all. Very important is a gender bias, which is still prevailing in many of our states and places, where if a female is born, most of the time, second or third female, most of them, they are malnourished or they are not breastfed at all, though no prenatal screening is there. In Indian mythology, there was a culture and it was known that our Lord Sri Krishna, who is a god for us, was fed by a surrogate mother, that is Yashoda. With this concept, in my hospital, which is overburdened, where the sisters and the doctors do not have that much facility and that much patience to support the breastfeeding, I have involved an NGO that's from the Maitrin group. And we started this particular Yashoda Mai project with the same name as Lord Krishna to Yashoda. So these were the group of ladies whom I did on a Women's Day, their total 40 plus screening for their health checkup, which was done to them free of cost by my hospital, including mammography and everything. So these women, they were all very much happy. They came to me and they told me that, Madam, you have done so much for us. We want to give you something back. What can we do? I said that I don't want anything from you, but can you spare 2 hours of yours in the afternoon to me? They said, yes, but what can we do? And this concept started from that end. And I trained them, all these 40 plus women. We meticulously trained them for giving proper advice and care for the newborn for the breastfeeding project. This was started in April 2018. These ladies, they were duly counseled and trained in basic aspects of breastfeeding and milk collection. The training was given to them by me, and every aspect of breastfeeding was explained to them. It was told to them. Daily, they would devote 2 to 3 hours in the PNC ward with the newly delivered mothers, explaining to them about the importance of breastfeeding, about early initiation of the breastfeeding, about what is exact positioning, observation, advantages, everything they used to explain to all the ladies. We gave them a simple coat as a uniform for identification. They all made their 40 women, they made their groups divided into 6 to 7 volunteers coming from Monday to Saturday. Every afternoon between 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. They will come to the hospital. They will be there in the postnatal care ward and they will be advising everything to the mother. The advantages were that every woman used to see some elderly woman advising them from their own group, who are not doctors, who are not sisters, who are not hospital staff. So they were all very, very happy to interact with them, to share their problems and to learn from them. That was one thing which was very advantageous. Observing the breastfeeding, because it is said that unless and until you properly observe the breastfeeding, you cannot make out whether the baby is getting enough of milk or not. The mother may say, yes, are you feeding on the breast? She may say, yes, I am feeding. But if she's not holding the baby properly, if she's not positioning the baby properly, she's not breastfeeding at all. And so these people were, and the overburdened staff in the hospital do not have time for observing or explaining to the patients. So that was the need for involving these people. And we did the sensitization of all the volunteers. We gave them a small booklet in the local language, which mentioned each and everything about the breastfeeding aspects. And we trained them, all the volunteers, along with our hospital staff. They all very meticulously attended the training sessions. Hands-on training was given to them about how to wrap the baby, how to cover the baby, how to hold the baby. Everything was taught to them in the PNC wards in front of the sisters with the assistant of our resident doctors. They all learned this, and the trained volunteer group, they all started working in the hospital, in the postnatal ward. They were explaining each and everything to the mother, spending time with the mother, talking to them, understanding their problems. And in case of any difficulty, they used to come back and tell us so that we could sort out the issues. The woman was very comfortable, lactating woman, to understand from her own group who are there in the hospital, but they are not doctors, because when we go with our white coats for the rounds with all those things, our innocent, ignorant, illiterate women, they become afraid. They don't speak. Education gives the power of speech. Because they are not educated, they are totally docile and they never speak as such. They never tell their problems. This is the common thing which happens in any resource limited centers. And doctors and nurses, they are too busy to get involved with the patient. And so counseling was done. Of course, there was a supervision of our pediatric assistant professors who were there so that wrong messages should not be conveyed to them. And with this, they used to demonstrate how to wrap the baby, how to take care of the baby, observe the breastfeeding. And we had a human milk bank. But somehow the success of milk bank is reflected by total milk collection. When the mother was not confident to breastfeed her own baby, how can you expect a donation from her? And how can you expect your milk collection to raise? That was one big question mark with us. But these women, when they started coming to the hospital, when mother actively started secreting the breastfeeding and she started breastfeeding the baby, her extra milk which was there, which was not used by the baby, she used to donate. These ladies took her to the milk collection centers, took her to the milk bank where mother used to donate their extra additional milk which they had for other babies whose biological mother cannot feed them on the breast. We also had a mobile milk collection unit. It's a first of its kind in India. It has received the BMG award for best maternal and child health practices, where we go to the community and we collect the breast milk from the mothers. So this facility was there, but still, because we didn't have much of the donors, we could not increase the breast milk collection. After involvement of this NGO, successfully after all their counseling sessions, we really had a very wonderful results. To begin with, 299 days of counseling sessions, which was held by the counselors, motivating lactating mothers to donate human milk, which gradually increased. More than 5,000 human milk donors who have been registered by the Human Milk Bank. 3,490 lactating mothers have been counseled. 4,500 newborns have been given donated human milk, and more than 200 liters of breast milk which has been collected by the Human Milk Bank. The improvement remarkably increased from 31.06 liters initially to 83.25 liters from 2016 to 2018, and more than 200 liters in 2025. None of the human donors have increased from 472 donors in 2016, number of human donors, to more than 5,000 donors. Imagine when there was a corona pandemic, when there was a controversy in the beginning whether to breastfeed or not, and when the guidelines came that women can safely breastfeed, all our patients, they used to get breastfeeding or donated human milk. The newborn recipients increased from 52 in 2016 onwards to more than 4,500 recipients. Reduction in the hospital visits of the children because they are receiving breast milk properly, because they are receiving donor milk. So they used to come only for immunization and their well baby clinic checkup, and the initial illnesses of ARI, diarrhea, measles, all those things were not there in these babies who were taken care of these NGOs. Utilization of the outreach immunization camps for motivating mothers was done. Experience shared by the donors. We had all target groups. Graduated from the NICU, these ladies counseled them also. They started arranging mothers' meeting and promoting breastfeeding. And they also had a very wonderful idea of starting paternity clinics for the father to give support to the mother and the male members of the family to receive the support. Dream is not what you see in sleep. It is something which doesn't let you sleep. This is APJ Kalam's sentence, which I believe very strongly, and a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one single step. Women need other women in their lives who see their worth. There should not be any comparison, no jealousy, no competition, but just they have to be there with each other. Let it be anybody. But if we can train them and we keep them with the mother to help them, particularly a lactating woman, a newly delivered mother who has a small baby and who doesn't know many of the things, if that is done, because our women in India, they are poor, they are illiterate, they are ignorant, but they are very intelligent. If you tell them properly, explain to them properly, everything is possible, and they will follow the principles of breastfeeding, and we can 100% reduce the neonatal mortality, the necrotizing enterocolitis part, which occurs because of formula feeding, because of unhealthy feeding. All this can be reduced if utilization of the services of any other organization, any other woman with proper training that can help. This was the concept of my study. These are my references. I thank you all for a patient listening. Thank you.